What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sakia and welcome. Please subscribe because you know it's always a party over here. So today I will be going over 3 things that I noticed have highly affected my weight gain. So many of you know that I've had several fluctuations in my weight loss journey. If you've seen previous videos, you'll know that I've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight millions of times. Now I'm noticing a pattern of just some things that contribute to my weight gain. There are some things that I have got under control and I kind of just want to share that with you guys. So yeah. And those 3 things are drinking, birth control, and going out to eat. And of course I want to start with my favorite pastime, drinking. Actually, it's noon right now. I'm off today. Let's go make a drink real quick. Very refreshing. Okay, so drinking. In college, just like everybody else, I was drinking a stupid amount of liquor. The problem is I kind of kept those habits post-college, and as I was entering my early 20s, of course your metabolism slows down and alcohol plays a major role when it comes to weight management. I recommend anybody that's considering losing a significant amount of weight, or maybe you just can't get those stubborn pounds off, kind of skip over those extra wine and alcohol calories like throughout the week. I'm not saying that I omitted alcohol completely from my diet, but I definitely had to scale back, and here's why. When alcohol is consumed, you have to remember that your body considers it a toxin. Even though it's illegal and we drink it all the time, our bodies do not necessarily understand that, like, oh, like she's just having fun. Your body's like, oh my god, like what is this? Like I need to get rid of it. Like, which is why I love anatomy in our bodies, because like it is so smart, and like you can really live a long time if you take care of it. So when alcohol enters your system, your body is metabolizing and burning that first. So what happens is everything else that you ate throughout the day, or let's say like you're drinking and you're out to dinner, and you're having like maybe like a steak or some pasta or whatever, all of that stuff is very high processed in fats and oils and seasonings and carbs and stuff. Usually when you're drinking the alcohol, your body metabolizes that first and everything else is metabolized later. Your body is going to process that food that you just ate all as fat. It's going to be stored as fat. Like let's say you're counting your macros and you had a good amount of protein, carbs, and fat. All that stuff is not going to be used efficiently in your body. It's going to be stored as fat. Of course, some obvious reasons are they're high in calories if you mix your drinks, even if you only taking shots. If you take like 5 shots, it's like 500 calories depending on the alcohol. Very high in sugar. Another thing is that alcohol affects your digestion and your sleep routine. Alcohol makes you fall asleep, but if you ever notice like you went out for drinks and like you're randomly awake, wide awake at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning after you've had a long night of drinking, it's because your body is still metabolizing and working to burn off the toxins that you just consumed. Even though you're sleeping, the quality of sleep isn't that great. And finally, and the most obvious reason, is alcohol leads to impaired decision making. When I finish drinking, I do not want chicken, rice, and broccoli. I want a Wendy's chicken sandwich, some Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, some Thai food. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the repetitiveness of it is going to really slow down your results. So I'm someone that used to drink like every night after work, and I had either a glass of wine. I was really heavy on whiskey and Coca-Cola. I just really wanted that after work, and I was still working out every day. The alcohol really set me back. And I also kind of plan what I'm going to drink. So if I know a friend is having a birthday and I'm going to be at a brunch, I kind of say, okay, well, I'm not going to drink for like a good 2 weeks, so I can just enjoy that time with my loved ones and have peace of mind knowing that my progress isn't going to get reverted. The next thing that I want to touch on that contributes to my weight gain is birth control. I have been on birth control since I was like 16 years old. Just about 11 years. However, there have been times where I stopped taking birth control just because like I was probably moving and I needed to switch my prescription, or I wasn't really doing a thing. So I just felt like I didn't need to take it. I started with the Depo shot because my mom was like, I don't want to hear you forgot your pill. You're not bringing no babies in my house. I was on Depo all throughout college. And it was honestly like the best decision because, you know, you're drinking and you wake up late, you got class, I had dance practice. So the shot was honestly doable for me. You get it like every 3 months and it's done. That was the devil for a lot of women. like why would you do that? You already know we have insecurities and then you're just gonna make a shot make us fat. Bitch, what? So then after the shot, I moved and I got on the Nexplanon, which is the little thing in your arm, and that is good for up to 3 years. The last year that I was on it, I was spotting a lot, like every single day. And it got to the point where I can't even have sex. So I ended up taking that out of my arm. When I took that out of my arm, I like lost weight without really changing too many things in my life, such as like what I was eating and my workout schedule. Thinking back around that time, when I was a little bit smaller and I was still in my early 20s, I was like, oh yeah, like I took that birth control thing out of my arm. Recently, I just switched over to the pill, Loestrin, and I really like that. I wasn't nauseous like when I first tried to take it like 8 years ago. I stopped taking it I can't remember why I stopped taking it. I think I just went through like a breakup or something. I always stop taking my birth control when I go through a breakup, like I don't need it, I'm heartbroken. I'm very dramatic, I'm a Leo, I know it, but whatever. In that same breath, when I stopped taking it, I also cleaned up my eating and I was working out a little bit harder, like twice a day. So this is like my 3rd time I'm seeing that I'm not taking birth control and I'm also losing weight. So it's like, okay. So let's fast forward to today. It is now February and I stopped taking my most recent dosage of birth control, which is still the pill, the Loestrin, and I stopped taking that in September. I feel like towards the end of October and the beginning of November is kind of when I was cleaned up my eating and like actually started lifting weights a little bit more. So again, I don't think that it directly comes from not taking birth control, but you see, like I'm noticing a pattern. Like it's just something to consider. Like if you're on birth control and maybe you're not really sexually active, if you don't mind using condoms, or if your man pull-out game is pretty strong, you kind of consider not taking it for like 2 months and see what happens. The final thing is eating out. This is probably the hardest for all of us, right? Like we're busy and we like to go out and hang out with friends. I love going out to eat. I love trying new foods. I love going to the same places. I love Chick-fil-A, like Cheesecake Factory brown bread. Cha, chef's kiss. That stuff has to be like drastically cut out. You can go out to eat. Like I don't want to say like, oh, never go out to eat, always cook. We don't always feel like cooking. Like we have full-time jobs. We have to clean the house. We have to clean the kitchen. So cooking isn't always something that's feasible. I definitely recommend meal prepping though. Video coming soon with that, because the problem is y'all get home from work or y'all get off work and you're like, oh, I don't feel like cooking. Well, you should have meal prep. Then people like to say, oh, well, grocery shopping is expensive. It's actually not. Like if you go get a meal nowadays, it's anywhere from $8 to $12. You could have bought like a pack of chicken for $7 and that chicken has 4 servings. So I'm not really sure where the myth is on buying healthy food is expensive, because it's not. It's expensive when you buy groceries and then you go out to eat. Also, the food is very high in sodium and very high in fat. These restaurants cook with a lot of oils, butters, and salts, and that's what makes the food taste really good. But again, your body is going to store all that excess food as fat. So you really want to kind of just scale back on going out to eat. I try to only do it 2 to 3 times a month now. And even then I'm still kind of like, okay, like I'm gonna get this, but I'm not gonna get an appetizer, 2 and 4 drinks. Going out to eat can really damper your weight management goals. So just keep that in mind. Alrighty guys, that's really all the tea I have for you today. Really quick, but just something to really keep in mind. Like this video if you can relate, comment below your experience. You know, I be struggling sometimes. I still struggle to this day. Like I want to go out to eat right now, but I really need to go in there and cook some salmon. So get after it today, crush it. If it's your rest day, take that rest day. You deserve it. And I will see you guys in the next video.